AdultTalk, a podcast by AdultWork.
Goodbye and welcome one more time to our beautiful Adult Talk, a podcast by Adult Work. I am Juan Amaro and I'm here with my beautiful Bella. How are you?
Hello, Juan. Hello, guys. Can't wait. It's a new day, new podcast. Can't wait for you to interact in the comments.
Today we have a very nice special guest. But before that, before I introduce her, remember we are streaming live on YouTube X account and our Instagram. If it's your first time here, remember, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, become part of the family. You will find on the description of the video the links for our special guest, plus also to our adult account. So let me introduce you guys. She is a webcam model and adult content creator, and she's here with us today. Taboo Baby is nice. Let me ask her to the stage. And you are very welcome. Nice to have you today. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on your stream. Thought I'd
It's a
show a different
pleasure.
side of the adult industry this morning.
Well, it might be even to some people around the world. You're right.
Sorry, say that again. That crackled a bit.
It might be evening to some people around the world. There
yeah,
is
of
people
course.
watching or following us from all over the place. Let me fix my mic here, just in case it's glitching. Can you hear me very well? Can you hear well?
It keeps on dropping in and out a little bit.
All right.
I'll do my best to answer your questions, but if I can't, I will just ask again.
All right. Oh, we keep checking the chat. If anybody's on the chat and if you have problem with audio, please let us know, and then I can fix my mic here again. But my first question to you is, how long have you been in the industry?
So we're coming up to about 4.5 years now. No, 4 years, I would say. Yeah.
All right.
I started off doing just a little bit of modeling. I started off part-time. But then when I found that it sort of suited me and I really, really enjoyed it, that's when I sort of took it on full-time, probably 2 years ago.
All right. Take me a little bit back before 4 years. What were you doing? What did you do before that?
So I'm sure we all remember the joyful years of COVID. I'm actually a fully trained nurse, and that's what I did. You can imagine 12 to 16 hours a day, back-to-back shifts, very, very grueling work. Although I did love it, it was a vocation. I just felt that I was working back to back all the time. I had no time for self-care or looking after myself. And that was before COVID. And then COVID obviously hit and things got really, really tough in the nursing industry. And it wasn't a very nice, I didn't enjoy it anymore. So I started, I actually went on a photo shoot with a few of the girls that I knew worked on adult work. And then I just sort of picked their brains a bit and asked them how it was, how they enjoyed it, how they got into it. And then it was a case of, I tried it part-time, and I really, really liked it. And with the pressures of working a 16-hour day, I mean, the nursing industry doesn't pay that well either. So I was making more in, say, 2 or 3 hours than I would do in a 16-hour shift. Although I loved it, and I'm glad that I did all of that training, I'm glad that I put myself through nursing. But I found my calling, I believe.
All right. So when COVID hit, you were still working as a nurse, and so you were in the front line. So you were like 16 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That must have been tough.
It was very, very tough because if you remember, it wasn't just dealing with patients, it was trying to deal with the patients' families, that you had to tell them you can't see them, you can't stay by their bedside, you're not allowed to do so many things that are just come natural when you want to visit someone in the hospital. So it just become quite a hostile environment as well. It wasn't enjoyable anymore. Although I really loved looking after people, I loved getting them through their difficulties, but it wasn't just looking after them, it was more dealing with their families as well. And people take that they take it hard, because they don't like being told that they can't see. And a lot of people at that time passed away, as you imagine. I mean, COVID affected so many people. And to tell people not just once or twice a day that someone had passed, I had in one shift, I believe, about 9 people passing
No way.
in one day, and that really takes its toll. It really
Yep.
took its toll, not just on
So-
me, on the families, on the staff I worked with. So yeah, I feel that Cam really brought back my life, brought back things that I knew that I could enjoy work again.
Okay, and when was the first? So after this, or during that, was when you met your friends who introduced you to it? How was that process? Did you know about webcam before? How did you find out?
No, so I liked doing photo shoots just for a hobby, and then I went to one and I was really, really nervous, and I just, you know what, I thought, oh, what are these girls going to be like? Are they going to like me? Because I'm completely new to it, but I thought I wanted to have a little bit of me time, and get some nice photos at the same time. I wanted to go into maybe like magazines and stuff. And one of the girls there, she was new to modeling, but she did camming. So because we were both sort of new in a respect, we sort of sat down and we had a little chat after, because she didn't turned out she lived about 40 minutes away from me. So we exchanged numbers, and then she was just like, she became a friend first, and she told me, if you're struggling at work doing these long hours, it's very tolling on you, you're not enjoying it anymore, why don't I just try adult work? And I said, what's adult work? Oh, I wouldn't do anything like that. I'm not confident enough to sit in front of a camera. And she was just like, no, honestly, you don't have to do what you might imagine. Sometimes, because when I first started, I did a lot of GFE, which is a girlfriend experience. And in my head, I thought, oh, you have to use all these toys, you have to do the most on camera. But she really taught me that, no, you didn't. You could just, there is people there that want a girlfriend experience, that just want to sit down, have a chat, and get to know you. And I was like, what, you get paid for this? And she was like, yeah.
Do I get paid for that? Okay.
Yeah. So I was really gobsmacked. I would sit in a gym set and just sports bra and leggings, and I really, really enjoyed it because she was right. There was people there that just wanted to have a chat and to get to know me. And then that made me start exploring in myself what I liked and what I could sort of give. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful, and I'm still in contact with her now. She does really well. She still works on the site. I'm actually hoping that she's gonna see this, and I'm gonna say to her, it's you I was talking about. And then hopefully she'll come on and do a podcast for you as well.
Huge shout out.
Tell her to give to contact us for sure.
Yeah.
So after this conversation with your friend, you did your own research, and then how was it for you? You said, okay, I'm gonna give it a go, and then I will see how it will go.
Yeah, so on the rare occasion that I had some time off, or I had a day off, because I was working 6 days a week, so that seventh day I would sign on. I wouldn't do too much. I just wouldn't put pressure on myself. I'd just say, oh, I'll do a couple hours. I'll leave it on in the background, or I'll see what I feel like. And you know what? I could not believe that people were just happy to sit there and just have a chat with me. And I made more in, I think, 3 or 4 hours than I had that entire week. And I was like, I really enjoy this. So I started picking it up a little bit more. I would go on an hour when I got home from work, or do an hour in the morning, because it's always good to try different times a day. That was the best advice she gave me, that you didn't have to have set hours. You could work when you wanted to, and there's so much freedom with it, and you would still make a lot of money. So it was nice to be able to expand and work on my own time around my job. But yeah,
Amazing. So do you remember the first day that you did your first live show?
Vaguely. It was quite a while ago now. But yeah, I just sat. I think I sat in Freeview for half an hour, which is where you can just sit and loads of people come into your room, and they just start chatting, and it gives them the opportunity to see you first. And then I found that by doing that, I would have lots of groups, and then rather than being in free, I'd be in group and having all these multiple people come in. So yeah, it was nice. Nerve-wracking, very, very nerve-wracking. But I didn't have any toys at that time. I didn't have any experience. I was a complete novice. And I told people that. I told people that I'm new. And they were really, really kind. Really kind.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So when you started, you were doing part-time, you said, right? So you were doing parallel to your normal job. You started welcome. And the reason I'm asking, I'm sure there is a lot of models now, maybe watching this podcast live. And if you are, remember, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. And they are thinking, I'm working now as well. They see themselves in the similar position that you were back then. And they are wondering, should I start it? And how should I start? Should I do maybe the way she did? Is it easy to keep working and do part-time? Like you said, there's no time. You can do whenever you like. So is that something, if someone wants to start in now, would that something that would be a good advice to start maybe slowly?
The best advice I can give someone is, it's so flexible. You're not sitting down for a 9 to 5. You don't have to sit down for an 8-hour shift. You can just go on when it suits you. You can, if you could, even whilst in your part-time job or your full-time job, you could get up an hour early in the morning, do an hour after work, or even do half an hour on your lunch break. It is so flexible, and you literally are your own boss in a way, because no one tells you what to do. No one tells you when to go on, or I set myself targets now. So I will go on for a certain amount of hours a day. But at the beginning, I didn't need to do that. It was just so free. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm sitting watching a TV program in the evening. I've done my job. I'm a little bit tired, but why not have it on in the background? So I would sit and have my laptop next to me whilst I'm watching a movie in the background, and I'd still go to work. It wouldn't affect my other job. I could still do everything that I wanted to, go to the gym. I would have time for everything, because there's no limitations with Cam. If you want to sign on for half an hour, you can do. And I think that's the best part around it, that there's no limitations to it. So if you are thinking about it, then just go for it. Just do a little bit each day and see it build up really, really quickly.
is the freedom that you get to go online anytime you want, right?
Yeah. And anytime,
And
like you said, we've got international people watching the podcast. There's international people online. So it's always busy. There's always traffic on the site.
for sure, for sure. What about, so at that time when you start and you were still doing part-time with your job, what about support? Did you get any support from family, friends? Did you speak openly? Did you tell people? Because again, there is people, other model maybe wanting to start now, and they feel that there is few things that are holding them back. And one of the things might be what people gonna think. Should I tell my family? Should I tell my friends? How was that process for you?
So in my name says a lot about it. So it's still a taboo subject. A lot of people do find that they can't tell people, but that's absolutely fine, because that confidence will grow. And eventually, when you're ready, you can tell people. And in the meantime, you meet loads and loads of women in this industry, and believe it or not, they're so lovely. Everyone that I've met in this industry that cams, I know you had one of my friends last week. You had Lucy on, and Rosie as well was one of your first. And there's so many girls that will support you, being new, being experienced. So you're never alone. Even if you don't feel confident enough to tell your friends and family at the very beginning, that's fine, because you'll meet new people, and then those people will grow your confidence because they do it, and then they will share their story on how they told friends and family. And sometimes you have to just bite the bullet and say, I was so unhappy before. I was working 12 to 16 hours a day and earning little money. I was being shouted at constantly, and it just wasn't a nice environment. So your friends and family, although they might not understand it at the beginning, they will learn that it's better for you as well.
Yeah. Another thing that, in fact, this what you just mentioned. Most of the models, when we talk to them, they do say that it's always they expect something differently, and when they go, it's a completely different environment. And it's like if they knew about the environment and how the work is, they would have done or started even earlier. So that's very nice. And of course, you don't need to disclose your financials and stuff. But another question that a lot of people have in mind is, do I actually make money? Can I make money doing this couple of hours per day? Do you actually make money?
Yeah, we definitely do. At all different times of day. The more experience you get, the more time you're online, the more money you will make. I'm a firm believer, what you get out, what you put in. So if you want to sit down and do a long shift, you're going to make a lot in that long shift. If you've got an event coming up, or if you fancy a holiday, you could literally set yourself a few hours and say, right, this is my goal. I'm going to make this amount. And if, say, traffic is slow at the time that you are online, there is plenty of things that you can do now. For example, there's a boost button. So you can boost yourself up to the top of the I don't know what to call it, on the top of the web page, and basically you can put yourself on TV shows. So there's always something, even if traffic's slow, there's always something that you can do to make it a little bit more if you need to.
Okay, that's brilliant. What about, I can see that you are wearing a mask. So can you tell us a
Yes.
little bit about the niche?
Yes. So like I said, I started off doing GFE. I used to sit in little pink outfits, just gym sets, very, very casual. I found that I'm quite not a bossy person, but I'm very much a dominant person. And eventually, although you might start off as the generic GFE, you do after a while find your own niche. So I sort of took on the role of like a dominatrix. And to explain that, that's basically someone that likes to be in charge, someone that likes to give instructions. I also have these nearby always, which are balaclavas, because I do change
Okay.
my mask quite often. And basically, you might find that a lot of people a lot of clients go on the site to give away their control. They might have a high pressured environment at work. They might want someone else to tell them what to do. And that's where I step in. So I very much will give them instructions. I don't know how detailed I can go into it, but there is a few things like joy. I don't know if I'm allowed to explain what that is. But that's basically telling people or telling a client.
You can carefully explain.
Um,
What I mean.
So they're instructions of how to use their body, because they
Okay.
might want someone else to give them a different way of doing it. Essentially, they might want someone to talk them through, or maybe give them a rating on what my
Okay.
opinion is of them. So another thing is cuckolding. That is when basically people like to watch, or they like to be put in a chastity cage, and that's
Yeah.
perfectly normal. And it's, most people might think it's a taboo subject, but that's my domain. That's what I love taking control from people, and they give it over willingly and freely. I don't put them in any positions. They come to me just if they've had a rough day at work and they just want to let someone else be in charge.
All
So
right.
I have chains on. That's very much because some people have different kinds of things that they like. It's not anything like me inflicting pain. It's not that at all. It's literally just someone else taking the reins, essentially. So that's why I'm very much all in
Okay.
black a lot of the time now.
So you also play a role, right? Like
Yes, a
role
lot
play.
of what I do now is a role play. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And how do you? Two questions first.
Yeah.
First is do the people? Do you have a lot of regulars? So because I'm sure people, especially because of the role play, I'm sure there's people who are coming back to you all the time. So
Yeah.
do you have a lot of regulars? People who started with you, maybe are with you for years and they keep coming back.
Yeah, so I've got quite a few regulars actually. A lot of girls that do work on AW, they use a toy called the Love Ants, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Yep.
So although I have one myself, I don't use it for myself. I use the controls and I use it on my clients. So Love Ants works both ways. They can tip me and then I will control their toy. So rather than them controlling my toy, which a lot of girls do, I control them. So I've got quite a few, because Love Ants is such an international toy.
Yeah.
I think I've probably got a good 12 regulars that I've had for, I know that doesn't sound like a big number, but to have someone keep coming back for at least 2 years, you gain a rapport with them, and it's
Yeah. They
quite
like
nice.
they created a connection with you. That's why they keep coming back, right?
Exactly. And you get to know these people, whether, I mean, I don't know if they're telling me their real names or anything. I don't mind if they don't. I just as much as I have a role to play, they have a role to play too. So they can be whoever they want to be on the screen, but they enjoy what I can do for them and what I can offer them. So they do keep coming back.
Okay, so what about, I see that you're also on social, so do you use social media as well? Do you think it's important to promote yourself? How do you promote yourself?
Yeah, so when I'm online, AW have an amazing feature that when you are online, when you sell a video, if you've put up a new photo, there's a little button that does everything for you, and it says, do you want to share to X? And you say, yeah, of course. So that does all the hard work for you. You guys have since Christmas made some new Instagram profiles as well, and they are really, really hot on sharing everything. And I find that that's great because it grows both profiles and it lets people know that you're online. And if you do have a schedule, say for the day you want to work few hours in the morning, pop out to the gym, few hours in the afternoon, then you can do, and you can just put a cute little picture of what you're wearing for that day, and then it will get reposted. So it's quite nice to be on socials and share, because it just grows both platforms.
About the schedule, because you mentioned it, do you have your own schedule or you go with the flow? Do you set specific times that you go on live, or you wake up and...
Yeah, so even with my mask on, I don't like wear makeup or anything, so it doesn't take me long to get ready. If I want to log on, I will just log on. But then if I'm sitting there online and it's a little bit quiet, all I have to do is post that I'm online, and I'll say I'm going to be online till, I don't know, what time is it now, 10:30. So I'll say I'm online from 10:30 till 12, come and see me. And then I'll get a little bit more traffic, but I'm not obliged to do those hours. It's just what I want to do.
So you always go with the flow, you would say. You don't have a specific schedule. You always post in X or whatever your social are. Like, you know, I'm going live in half an hour. Join me here.
Yeah, it is good. Say if like I have a busy weekend. So last weekend was Valentine's Day. I knew I was working for the whole of the weekend, so I scheduled myself to be available. I scheduled in some TV shows, and I did lots of promotion to say that I'm going to be online for the whole of last weekend. But that's just because I wanted to. But yes, usually like today, I might log on for a little bit, I'll pop out to the gym, I'll come back. So yeah, it's I go with the flow mostly. But if it's a big occasion, because also, and a good trick for performers is to learn when sort of other industries get paid. So usually at the end of the month, and that's when the site can pick up quite a lot of traffic. So it's good to know what works for you. If you know that you're busy in the mornings, then you would go on in the mornings. If you know you're going to be busy at nighttime, you'd go on at nighttime. But yeah, it's very, very flexible.
Like within the years that you've been in the web on the adult industry, I'm sure you get plenty of requests from clients. What was the craziest request that you ever got? You remember that you
I
thought?
don't know if I'm allowed to share that. There's a lot of people that do like to be sort of tied up and sort of teased, but then some do take a little bit further. With my taboo side of things, there's a lot I wouldn't be able to share.
All right.
But there was one that I need
Like
to be careful.
we had models that said they ask things to do with food, to throw food on their body. There is models that ask for them to throw milk on their body. I mean, crazy things on that aspect. That ever happened to you?
So food isn't one of my sort of things that I go into. I know that it's a big thing. I think mine is more a case of, so I've been asked for someone to basically, he needed some assistance of how to sort of tie himself, and he used cable ties. So I would instruct him. He wanted to be found by his partner, because he had a kink and he wasn't sure how to share it with his partner. So we came up with this thing that, okay, right, what if we tied you how you like to be tied? Quite difficult.
Oops, you're off. Can you still hear us? Can let me know if you can still hear us there. In the meantime, as she's coming back, remember, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, become part of the family, guys. Yeah, she's back.
Have I got you back?
Yeah,
you're back.
Yeah, you're there.
So sorry about that.
Also,
No worries.
Do you know what? I'm really, really sorry. I'm doing this off of my work phone, and unfortunately, one of my regulars was trying to get hold of me. So that means, because I've signed off this morning to do this live, he's probably wondering where I am. So yes, where was we? So yeah, he wanted to let his partner know that he had this kink. So what we did was we arranged that he would be tied up with cable ties, which he done himself. I just instructed him from the other end. And he particularly liked to wear her underwear. So although it was his niche for a very, very long time, he was like, I want her to enjoy this too. So we dressed him up, and then we cable tied him in a very specific way, in a hog tie, which is where you put your feet together and your arms together, but behind. And he did this about 10 minutes before she was due home from work. And basically I watched the entire thing through the screen. So it was quite a niche thing.
It was an experience.
Very, yes, because when she didn't quite know how to react, I was like, hi, I'm here. Let me just talk you through why he's done this. And I sort of, that's a lot of thing about being a dom. A lot of people don't know how to explain their fetishes to their partners, and that's something in the last 6 months that I've really, really taken on board, is helping people explain to their partners that it's a kink, it's very taboo, but it's what they like, and it's not that bad. It's just something different that they're not used to. So yeah, I think that's probably the nichest thing, is him getting dressed up in her underwear in a really pretty set, and then hog tying himself, and then me having to explain the situation to her afterwards.
And if you could tell me one thing that you really like within the industry, and maybe one thing that you dislike, one thing you don't like. Is there anything?
So it might sound really fun to other people, but the main thing I love about this industry is the other girls that you meet. And although it's great doing all of these new things, you find out a power in yourself. But the best thing is that I've grown so much just by meeting other women in my situation. I mean, we've all come from different backgrounds. We've all come from different relationships. We've had people that we might not be able to talk to about certain things. And the women that I've met in this industry have got to be my favorite out of it. It's fun dressing up. It's fun taking control, but it's even better having someone on your level that you could speak the unspeakable to, and you can swap stories with, and just like, if you have a funny call or a funny client, you can just message these girls, and we would just bounce off of one another. So that's by far, on top of all the webcamming, it's what webcam brings people together. That's my favorite part. Least favorite part, you do get the odd person that might have had a really bad day, and they might want to take that out on you. But you know what? You have the control that you don't have to talk to that person. If you don't like the way that someone is treating you or speaking to you, you don't have to deal with them. It's not a face-to-face thing. You're behind a camera, you're in your own environment, you're comfortable. So although it's not a great thing to have to deal with, you don't actually have to deal with it.
Yeah, you're in a safe environment.
Yeah.
You can, I mean, you're one click away to ban anything you don't like or anyone that you don't like, right? So
even if there's a topic that you're not comfortable with, if someone comes in and says, oh, I want this specific taboo, all you have to say is, I'm really sorry, I don't do that. Or I'm really sorry, that's not something that I cover. Good luck with finding someone else. If they are persistent, there's literally a button. You can kick them out temporarily or you can kick them out permanently.
All right. So if there was a model now watching us now, or maybe later they're watching us later now, because this podcast is going to stay on, they are really interested to start. What would be the first step? What should they do? Should they? What would you
for
say?
Starting webcam?
Yeah, they would have to. They would have to have a niche, for example, like you have, or
no.
what do they need to do?
You could literally sign up. I would advise, if you are very new, there is so many cam groups that you could be a part of. They offer a lot of support. They offer a lot of setup. And you don't have to have a niche. I mean, if you know what you like already, if you like playing with food, if you like being a dom, if you like being just a girlfriend, then that's great. But if you don't really know what you're doing, just sit there in a gym set. Make yourself feel pretty, however that means, whether it means putting makeup on or doing your hair or sitting there naturally. I think it sounds scary to do it the first time, but it's such an empowerment. And you don't need to have a niche. You could just sit there and be yourself. And there's someone that's going to want to talk to you and get to know you.
Amazing, amazing tip. So if you're watching us now and you are wondering on how to start, remember there is on the description of this video, there is some link where you can find out. And if you are a regular coming back to us every time and you have not yet followed us or subscribed to the channel, now, Aurora, do you know there's like 70% of the people watching us don't subscribe. So if you're on Twitter, go run to the YouTube as well and follow us there, because so like this, we can also build our audience on YouTube as well. That would be lovely. All right. So towards the end of our podcast, we have some questions. We call ping pong question. I have 5 warm-up questions for you, and then Aurora have some more questions for you. So first question is blow job or hand job?
What do I personally prefer?
Yeah.
Blowjob, I think.
All right. Dog style, 69 or missionary?
Doggy style for me, but you have to have the positioning correctly. Has to be arse in the air and complete arch. If you're going to do it, you have to do it right.
So that's a pro tip. The position have to be spot on.
Read your notes.
Yes.
Your notes.
That's another thing as well with cam. You don't just get single men like you might imagine. You do get couples come on that just want a bit of advice from you, that want to know how to do something. They might be what we call vanilla. And basically, sometimes couples just want to spice up their relationship and they might not know how to do a position. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So the next question is group sex, like an orgy or one-to-one?
No, one-to-one.
Okay. Masturbation, solo or together with people around?
It depends. Depends on how you feel that day. Sometimes you want an audience, and that could be that you want to maybe film yourself, or sometimes you want people to watch you. So I'm 50-50 on that one.
All right. And sex, morning or night?
I prefer nighttime.
All right.
Perfect. And now we're going to the part 2 of the ping pong questions. And the first one is, describe yourself in one word.
Powerful.
What's your ultimate turn on?
What's that, sorry?
What's your ultimate turn on?
Me being in control, me having entire control of the situation.
Makes sense, which is your niche, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And third one, kissing or cuddling?
Oh, it depends what time of year. Cuddling in the winter, but if it's summer, don't come near me with a cuddle. Yeah. Summer kissing, winter cuddling.
Okay. What's your secret weapon to seduce someone?
My breasts.
What's one thing on your bucket list?
On my bucket list, I've ticked off quite a few things this year. So let me see. I think what I would like to do is open my own cam group. That's my bucket list. I want to start my own cam group for women that might not know what their niche is yet, and just be there for people that want to start in the industry and might be a little bit timid, a little bit shy, and just offer them the support that I was given and introduce them to women that are like-minded.
Can you introduce in this group? You would maybe even introduce them to niches and help them to find their own niche and experience, I guess.
Yeah, of course. So if someone wasn't too sure about something but wanted to explore it, say if you wanted to be a dominatrix, it's more than just wearing black or being in charge. It's learning how to take control of a situation. So I would love to sort of train women and men in how to do these niches.
That would actually be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving to the next one. If you could meet and create content with a celebrity, who would that be?
Oh, I'd say Ryan Reynolds, but he would have to wear the Deadpool outfit.
That's actually interesting because I'm not pretty sure, but I think another model gave us the same answer.
Oh, really? Yeah. He
Okay.
would be
What's the last thing you Googled?
Sorry, what was that?
What's the last thing you Googled?
I don't know. I do everything on Google. I think completely unrelated, but my fuse box tripped, so I had to Google how to sort it out.
What's your ultimate fantasy?
My ultimate fantasy would probably be to have... Oh, that's a hard one. So I would like to have all of these so-called powerful men on their knees with collars and leashes. I've done it once before, but I've taken one person to an event, an adult work event, on a lead, and the power that it gives you is fantastic. So what my ideal situation would be, fancy, is to have at least 3 or 4 of them on a lead walking around with me.
I take that. So next one, what's the weirdest place or even situation you've ever had sex?
In a lay-by, but when it was during the day, and I didn't realize how busy it would be.
In a what? Say that again.
In a lay-by. So you know when
What's a
lorries
lay-by?
can only drive a certain amount of time, and they pull
Yeah.
into those little bits
Oh,
on
they
the
pull on the. Oh,
road.
yeah. On the highway. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
And the last one, if you win 1 million today, what's the very first thing you would buy?
I would use it as backing to set up my cam group. I would make sure that I had the funds there, that I could pay models for whatever they needed to. I would put it towards training manuals, and getting in someone to also help me set up like a website and things.
Amazing. Let me just go here before we wrap up. Just some shout out to some people on the comments. Guys, by the way, if you listen to this show on the podcast, remember, the more you engage with us as well, sending message, sending questions, and liking, sharing the content, you will definitely help us a lot. Okay, so big shout out to a lot of people here on the comments. There is some names on YouTube that's very difficult to pronounce. Frogman, we have Scouse Spice.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
She is.
we
I just want to give her a shout out, actually. She is one of the most amazing women that I have met in this industry. And I really, really think you need to get her on your podcast for the next coming weeks, because
Definitely.
Yeah, we need to get her in. Yeah,
she
contact
is
us, please, so we can
fantastic,
arrange.
not only as a peer worker, but she gives great advice. If you've had a hard day, she's there and she's always in your corner. She is a brilliant person and someone that I'm so happy that I've met in this industry.
Amazing. We have Doxy models, Silver Fox.
And
Yeah,
shout out to Doxy as well.
remember, if you you can leave a message here to Taboo Baby Spice. She can go through the message on Twitter or YouTube. She'll be able to reply to the message there, to questions, anything that you guys would like to say. If you watch this video after, because it's already recorded and the podcast, the live finish, you still can write message and comment and share, because like this, we can reply to you guys as well. And of course, you help the community to grow even more. Yeah, so this was a very nice podcast. I enjoyed it very much. I hope you did enjoy as much as we did as well, right, Aurora?
Right, it was amazing. Thanks for joining us, Taboo Baby Spice. And yeah,
you.
It was very nice. So before you go, I would like you to leave a message to everybody who's watching us, for people who might how and then after, how they can find you as well. You can leave your ads, although your name is there, they can just search for your name, and it will be on the description here as well. But yeah, leave a message to everybody who's listening to us now.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier that there's plenty of groups out there that can give you so much support, and you do really, really meet great women. So if you're thinking about it, Doxy Models, I know they're a fantastic group. Boudoir, a fantastic group. So if you do have any questions or want to reach out to any of those groups, if you're thinking about it, if you're 50-50, there's no harm in asking us any questions, myself or even any of the group owners, and just do it. The best advice I can advise is literally just go and do it. Try it, dip your toes in the water, and honestly, you won't turn back.
Amazing. And where they can find you? Taboo Baby Spice?
Yes, and also I'm Duchess of Taboo on X and socials.
All right. Guys, this was beautiful. Taboo Baby Spice, was pleasure to have you here. We should arrange again to do another podcast with you, so you can tell us more stories within the industry. I hope you guys enjoyed. And remember, if it's your first time here, second time, but you have not yet smashed the like button, now's the time. Follow us, and we catch you guys on the next streaming, or maybe we just leave another video for you. Right?
all right. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, thanks for having me.